Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast, Weekend Poppin'. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by the Prince of Party Boy Pete McCormick, the Dangerous One, Dangerous Diana Spencer, and Strong Stem himself, N-Dub's favorite son, Steve Cabot. Party Boy Pete, how are we feeling, my man?
After this week's episode, Matt, I'm ready to run through a brick wall again.
How about it, pal? How frickin' about it? Strong Stem, how you doing, good guy?
Was doing fantastic. The episode was amazing. I'm like,
Really?
Pete, I'm fucking ready to sign up for the military right now. And you know what? Then I happened to just stumble upon some fucking clip of you and your goddamn brother freaking out like fanboys over some nonsense wrestling. And I almost fucking killed myself. All right. What the fuck was that? I've never seen you two so excited.
Well, we'll get more into it later. Diana, how are
Please
you doing?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Good. Glad to hear. All right. Well, this is the Working Perspectives Podcast, Weekend Poppin'. You can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can have us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, then please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. All right, let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's all objective to be effective by voice in societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live, then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
Okay, so barring any more discussions about the best wrestling pay-per-view ever, well, not ever, but it's the best ending to a wrestling pay-per-view. But either way,
Why did someone die?
you know what? That has happened. I mean,
I
R.I.P.
know,
Owen
sadly.
Hart.
I know, sadly it
Owen
has.
Hart.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Now, not in the ring. That wasn't in the ring. So
It was. In
Well,
the, it was in the.
no,
ring.
it was it was off the ring. That
It
didn't
was-
happen. I mean,
he
on the
landed
turnbuckle.
it. He landed in the ring.
But what I'm saying was, it wasn't during, like, he wasn't physically competing. He was on his way in to compete,
True.
and then it wasn't a competition death. I
Yeah,
want fucking
yeah.
gladiators, cuz.
Yeah.
Dude, there's
Yeah.
some horror stories from wrestling.
oh,
Isn't
they
there a
get-
guy
they
that
get
like
so
shit
fucked up.
himself on camera? And
Oh,
there's
Oh,
all
there's-
sorts of
Yeah.
shit they go
Well,
through.
that happened in
yeah.
MMA too. Tim Sylvia shit himself in a fight.
Who's the
did.
guy? Who's the guy who runs wrestling? What's his name?
Triple
Vince
H.
Vince McMahon.
Oh, well,
McMahon.
Vince
That's it.
McMahon.
Yeah,
Well,
I
Tri-
remember I
yeah.
watched a documentary or something where it was talking about, they're like their health insurance is shit, and
Yeah.
like they had to fight for health insurance, I think, at one point.
Well, they didn't. They're independent. They're billed as independent contractors.
Yeah, that's
So
what he did.
because
So he
they're
didn't have
independent
to
co-
give him insurance.
Exactly, and
Stevie.
they tried Jesse the Body Ventura famously tried to unionize the wrestlers so they could get
Yep.
insurance and stuff like that, and he was like blacklisted. But go ahead, Pete. What were you gonna say?
Steve, do you remember when that kid shit himself at Disney Duels, the heavyweight for the Mawa team? He was like number 2 in the country.
Sadly, I did forget that until you just brought it back up. And yes, I fucking remember. That was disgusting. The fuck? How did you remember that?
I don't know.
That's funny.
Just like there's only
That's
like
funny.
3 times I remember somebody shitting themselves in competition,
Now-
and that's like one of the 3.
Like I said, one time at a CB West match, did I eat a bunch of Chinese food with Brandon Hill because I thought maybe I could be like Brandon? And nothing affects that kid. He's like a goddamn tank. I had to sprint off the mat to the bathroom before I shit all over myself in front of everybody.
Yikes!
The closest I had
terrible.
that was one time I had to shit, and this guy kept shooting on me, and every time I sprawled, I farted, and it was like 6 tough shots in a row, and then the ref started laughing. The ref starts laughing, and the coach like, "What are you laughing?"
And for people to understand, you got to understand that, like, especially wrestlers, usually you just sucked weight. You just sucked weight, so your stomach's real small. All the food you eat, your stomach's a fucking mess. And then in an hour, you got to, wrestle.
Yeah.
So your stomach's a mess while you're wrestling.
Yeah. It's brutal, especially too back then. The nutrition was out the window. Like I remember we had a kid on the team that he would eat an entire container, like the big drum container of cheese balls, right?
Well, Matt, nutrition may have not been what it is today, but I think they knew better than eat the giant container of cheese balls.
I mean, they might have known better, but they still ate the giant container. And like,
sure did.
Steve, you were famous for the hoagie. That was your gimmick. You would eat the Italian hoagie.
For a little bit. Yeah, usually. It depended how big the match was, but that was usually my go-to.
Yeah.
Which always made me feel like complete shit. Processed meat and shit. What are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I felt like complete shit on the mat.
Mayo and oil.
Get that fucking mayo off my sandwich. What are we talking about here?
Wow.
How dare you guys?
Right.
How dare you guys? Yeah,
So,
how dare you, Pete?
So
that's why you're a real one.
Back to wrestling real quick.
Yeah, Triple H is in the hospital. He had a heart attack. FYI. Today.
No way.
Yeah, today.
He married Vince McMahon's daughter, though, right? In real life. Is that
Stephanie.
right? Yeah.
So Diana, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
That was like I never. So like when I worked at Grams, you guys would go to the Royal Rumbles. So they would come to Grams first, get drunk, and then hop on a bus.
Dude,
and then go to the Royal Rumble and come back. Blast. And it was always like, I can't believe you guys in your 30s doing this shit. You know what I mean?
But you're right, Diana. You're fucking right, Diana.
No, I was wrong, Steve. Because one night we had a Royal Rumble at the bar. We had it on at the bar, and I was working, and that was the best fucking shift of my life. I was immediately a wrestling fan. I was walking around like, the big ice containers we filled with ice. Yeah. I'm like chucking them at people and shit. Like,
yeah. You're like steel chair. Bam.
Yeah, we were dying, laughing,
It was so
kicking out the doors from the kitchen with the ice bucket above my head, just throwing it at people. Yeah. Oh my God!
I worked a few events that I had pro wrestling because when I was bouncing down like McFadden's, and they would have the shows down at the Wachovia or whatever it was at the time. Yeah. But I remember that clientele being very reminiscent of the Water Boy, the Bobby Boucher, Captain Insano.
You do so. Well, here's a funny story. So we're at the Royal Rumble that Diana is talking about, and it's funny because that's when Ronda Rousey debuted in the WWE.
Yes,
that night. But so we're there, and there's this guy. He was an announcer at the time for WWE, and Tom had gotten seats. We were like really close, like we were down like lower.
You
level.
were on TV, right?
Yeah, we were, and it was like at one point.
This sounds gayer and gayer, but keep going.
There's a former. I think he wrestled in college. A lot of these guys like are former like NCAA qualifiers and Olympians and stuff like that. And
easy on the Olympian thing. Keep going.
Chad Gable, Kurt Angle, Otis.
Gable just signed, and Angle's the only one.
You're talking about Gable Stevenson. There's a wrestler named Chad Gable, right? Who was an Olympian.
He's actually he was a real wrestler.
Yeah, and so was this other guy named Otis. He was in the Olympics for Greco as well. So
doesn't count.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll get on to that another time. But either way, so there's this announcer there. Go ahead, Pete.
No, I'm pulling up because Shawn Michaels does have the greatest gift in like the history of anything.
Yeah.
So let me cue that up.
Yeah. Okay. And so either way, so we're at the show and there's this announcer there, right? And he's kind of like a noodle. So I'm like yelling stuff at him, making fun of him. And I think his name is Byron Saxton. And I was like, "Hey, Byron, how about you go back to your mom's basement, you pussy?" Or I said something like, "You still live in your mom's basement." Right. And then two of the, oh my God, Pete.
I know.
It's great. It's great. That is the greatest joke.
What the fuck is he doing in that? What the fuck is he doing?
DX
two guys, two audience members started harassing him. So he just pointed at them and started doing that whole long thing. It just like kills me.
Please
Well,
send that through the
he
group chat.
Clearly, he's weird.
Please send that to the group chat. So I have
But
it
either
for
way,
us.
after I yelled at this guy, like, you know, you live in your mom's basement. There was like 4 guys behind me. They're like, yeah, so do we. And we're like, I was
Sure
like,
do.
oh, yeah. I was like, this crowd. But dude, it is a fucking. They are.
I want to go.
They're so much
I want
fun.
to go to the next one,
dude.
It looks like
Especially
so much freaking
like
fun.
that's WWE, which is like, you know, not as great. The new company AEW, which is run by Cody Rhodes, who is a former two-time Georgia State champion and was recruited by Penn State. No big deal, right?
Oh, we all know how good Georgia is at wrestling.
Yeah, I was gonna say he sounds
good
like he's a district finalist.
Good enough to get recruited at Penn State, but
Wait, what's recruited? What's that mean, right?
I mean, he didn't go. He didn't go because he went into WWE right after high school. But
that's the same excuse I use. I'm like, look, I went directly into mechanics. Penn State wanted me, but I was like, you know what? I gotta fix your fucking car today.
Yeah,
I have a calling.
Penn State Abington really wanted you.
I'd have been a star on that shitty ass team. Go ahead.
State World Campus.
But no, but AEW is speaking. So speaking of AEW, actually spoke to listener of the show, friend of the show, and watcher of the show, Sarah McCormick, who is a big fan of AEW. So yeah.
Oh yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah. Just goes to show you, class people watching AEW. But no, it's pretty. I mean, it's just exciting, right? Like, dude, when we were kids, right? Stone Cold is the fucking man, right? Undertaker is the man. The Rock's the man. DX was the like. How many times have you told someone to suck it, right? Like, dude.
I don't know, Matt. Tell me how many times you've told someone to say that.
Hey, look, I got 2 words for you right fucking now, okay, pal? And it's suck it, all right? And 2, yeah, exactly. You know exactly what it is.
I was more to the hand gesture, but listen, I was so into it when it was Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and all those guys, and I was fucking 10. Then once I realized I wanted pussy in my life, the second chicks came into my life, the WWF went out of my life immediately.
I remember
because I realized that you get no chicks with it.
Giving the people's, we were the people's eyebrow, just constantly walking around doing that. And Hulk Hogan has the best gifts. If you ever just type Hulk Hogan gift in Google and go under images, the best one. There's one for every occasion.
Yeah. There's I was watching this thing the other day. So like you were saying, Triple H is married to Stephanie McMahon. And
she's talented north of the border, Matt.
Very, very talented north of the border. And but
bring her up, Pete. Bring that up, Pete.
They used to be like rivals in the
take a gander.
They used to be rivals, right? So they were in the ring one night, and Stephanie McMahon's like making fun of Hunter, be like, "Hey Hunter, I heard you're a Minuteman and you're really, really small." And his response was the best thing ever. He said, he's like, "Well, Stephanie, you know, even a 747 looks pretty small when it's flying through the Grand Canyon."
Oh,
lost it. Oh yeah, Stephanie,
fantastic,
Stephanie McMahon. Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to sound weird, but I'm a fucking fan. I'll watch the WWF if she's on. I'm a fucking fan. I'm a fan again. Pete just brought me back. I was out, and now I'm back in.
Big fan.
It was so much fun. That was so much fun. You're immediately rowdy watching it.
You get so fucking rowdy. It's so much
I think
fun.
I was tackling Chrissy's husband, Brian.
Yeah.
I was tackling him. Like I was immediately into it. With
He's
a
a
full
big
fucking
fan.
bar. I'm running around wrestling people.
Dude,
all right, I'm gonna watch it. When's this thing on? What days is it on?
It's on
Wednesday. Pete, don't do this. Pete,
Wednesday nights and Friday nights on TNT, and then they have pay-per-views. But we did so.
Yeah, I need to do my due diligence. I need to be armed with information.
The video
pay-per-views, people pay like $50 for an event.
Dude, like millions of people did this weekend. Millions.
Oh, I hate America. What the fuck?
There's a reason why Ronda Rousey went to pro wrestling.
The same reason Brock Lesnar did.
Yeah.
Dude, Brock Lesnar, you should see some videos of Brock Lesnar. So they call it shooting. When you like do in wrestling speak, it's called shoot. Like if you shoot on someone, that means that you're really fighting them. So there'll be times Brock Lesnar's in the ring, right? And say like this happened one time where the guy was supposed to, like the match was supposed to end and he was supposed to stay down for the 3 count and he didn't. And you see Brock Lesnar just go, "Motherfucker," right? Like you see, like you can read his lips. He rips his gloves off, gets on top of the guy, grabs him by the back of the head, and just starts raining elbows down until the guy was like, "Okay, match is over."
There was somebody else that tried to fuck up a power bomb with Brock, so Brock just like dropped him right on his head.
Yeah, dude. The injuries are fucking real that they go through. Oh my, dude, you ever see the Stone Cold injury? I still think I'm a big fan of thinking that's a conspiracy. That's why I think Owen Hart was murdered, and that he was murdered because he tried to paralyze or end Stone Cold's career so that his brother would still be the star.
No, can someone pull that up? I want to see that.
What, him fall to his death?
Can we screenshot it?
You won't find that.
Yeah.
Stone Cold, Owen Hart, Stone Cold. But either way, while Pete's looking that up, this week.
Oh, I am looking something up. All right.
If you could look up Owen Hart, Pile Drive, Stone Cold, Steve Austin. But either way, on all podcast platforms and YouTube this week, we aired the Sean Day Part 1 episode. And let me freaking tell you, we got rave reviews. Big week of like really, really people loved this episode. They loved hearing Sean's stories. They loved hearing about Mike. And like a lot of people, I'll tell you what, Steve, a lot of people reached out to me. They loved hearing about you and him growing up, and like all that stuff, like just his. But a lot of people said what we had said before, where it's incredible to see someone who had a lifelong dream. And was like, that is something. And I said it on last week's show. I'm so envious that he knew exactly what he wanted to be when he was like 7 years old. Right. That to me, that would be the best thing ever. I don't know. I know we recorded together, Steve, but what did you think of the show?
I mean, like I said to you today, because I saw you today, hearing it again, obviously real close with the kid, grew up together. So I've seen everything, but I forget a lot of shit because I don't know. I got fucking CTE. I don't fucking know, but I forget shit.
Yeah.
So when I rehear some of the stuff, like him doing those ordnance swims off the shore and they have to throw fucking ARDS, which he doesn't even know what the fuck it stands for. So that the sharks don't eat him for a swim.
Yeah.
I was like, again, you just knew who he was growing up his whole life. That's all he wanted. There was that or nothing. That's it.
Talk about
like if he would have like failed out, forget about it. He would have,
he would have
nothing.
He said that he wouldn't have failed. He would have died. He would have rather died.
No way.
Oh yeah.
That's unreal. The mental fortitude to have that, to know like, hey, either I die or it doesn't happen. That's some real fucking shit.
And again, you hear him talking about at high school age, like at a 15-year-old kid, where he wants to do is make sure whatever he's doing, whether it's wrestling, football, and he was good at all sports, but all of it had a geared to make him more prepared to go do what he wanted to do. Where at 15, I was trying not to fuck everything I saw because I'm a 15-year-old boy.
Trying and failing.
I am focused in on what I need to do.
Yeah. I mean, Steve, maybe it's not everything you see now, but still it's a lot of trying to fuck. Yeah.
It's a lot of succeeding from what I've seen.
It's a lot of what?
Succeeding.
You tell.
I mean, you got a great resume. We'll fucking say I'll be the first one to say you got a great resume, Steve. Real proud of you, pal.
Listen, don't put that smut on my name. Don't put that fucking smut on my name.
Okay,
I'm a virgin, for Christ's sake, all right? And I followed the fucking Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But D, did you have what did you think of this week's episode?
I thought it was great. It was so good. Yeah.
Glad
I'm excited for part 2.
Part 2 is going to be good. I think it seems
part
like a lot
better.
Yeah, because
part more, same thing. I think with like Nick when you guys did it. It's like first, it's cool to hear the build up, but then to hear all the training and everything that happened, and then what they went and did with that training. That's the fucking sick part. For me.
Also, he really gets in depth about the nonprofit,
which is dope.
Farms. It's fantastic. Really good stuff. So awesome. Hey Pete, did you find that video?
I think I did. Let me tell me if I got it right.
Yep. And dude, look
at can you do it again?
So he turns and
double reverse. Got him.
On the top of the head.
You see there's a slow-mo version where you see like his head sticking out from like 5 inches out from between his legs, and like
where it's supposed to be.
Yeesh, man. Yeesh. It's like, dude, and also imagine this. He was almost legit paralyzed right there, and he was able to finish the match and win. He wins that match after that because he grabs him and he's like, dude, just fall on your back. I'm laying on you. And like, that was it. And he had to be like carried out. Apparently, like Kurt Angle has famously broken his neck like 3 or 4 times, and
That's so fucked up.
And they go to the same neck doctor guy. I don't know what they're called, but they go to the same
neckologist.
Okay, the neckologist.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So they go to the same neck doctor, and the neck doctor has said he's seen thousands and thousands of necks, and Steve Austin's is the worst he's ever seen. He said it was unreal. Yeah.
And that was a theory that was on purpose.
So
is that what you were saying earlier?
If you want to get into it, there's a famous moment in wrestling. It's called the Montreal Screwjob, right? And what it is Bret Hart was the reigning champion at the time. He had signed to go to a rival promotion.
The fucking Hitman Hart.
Bret the Hitman Hart, dude. I'll tell you that he could really wrestle. That guy was.
Moms loved him and shit. Kids loved him. Moms wanted to bang him. That dude was living life.
But he was a legit badass. Like, so his dad was like a catch can guy who knew like true like submission.
Frank Gotch guy.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, dude, totally. So either way, Bret. So the Montreal Screwjob happens. What happens is Bret is the champion at the time of WWF. He is signed to go to the rival company WCW, right? And Vince was scared that Bret was going to leave and he was going to show up with the WWF title on the competitor's television, right? So they were at a pay-per-view. It was Survivor Series, and Bret was told that he was supposed to win the Survivor, like he was going to win, right? And when they got there, they set
somebody
it up.
didn't play right.
Well, they set it up where Shawn Michaels was going to put him in a sharpshooter, but Bret was supposed to get out of it and just continue the match and eventually win. But Vince McMahon stood there and said, "You're like," he's like, "Bring the belt. Like, let's make like he lost." And it was in Calgary, which is Bret Hart's hometown. So the crowd goes nuts. Bret Hart spits in McMahon's face on live television, and he's like, "Fuck you." He then goes around the ring. He breaks every piece of equipment. He rips the ring to shreds. He stands in the middle of the ring, and the rival promotion was called WCW. So he's standing in the middle of the ring, like doing WCW with his fingers, and like just like it's like a really big moment that changed wrestling forever. So either way, so he gets screwed. It's called the Montreal Screwjob. Prior to that, Bret was trying to like get more money, right? And everyone knew Stone Cold was on the up. You know what I'm saying?
He was the guy. He was the new man.
Stone Cold would end up being the biggest star in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, at one point it was like Shamrock, The Rock, and Stone Cold were all coming up at the same time, right?
Yeah, you're 100% right. As Stone Cold started to rise, The Rock was starting to heat up as well. Mick Foley was there. Then you also had D-Generation X, which was huge. So you had all these like massive stars. Dude, this is how popular wrestling was at the time. Dennis Rodman, right, was playing for the Bulls. They were playing for Michael Jordan's 6th championship. They're in the NBA Finals against the Utah Jazz, right? And they're in between games, right? Wrestling is so big that Dennis Rodman left the NBA Finals to go to shoot Monday Night Nitro with WCW, which wasn't even like the biggest.
A testament. That's not a testament to how big wrestling is. That's a testament to how fucking crazy Rodman is. Because nobody in wrestling makes NBA money. Nobody.
Karl Malone, dude, are you kidding me?
NBA money?
I'm with Steve. There's no way.
Get the fuck out of here. And this whole screw job.
You don't think Hulk Hogan's made more money than Dennis Rodman?
The guy you're asking?
Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, like they were all.
How much you want to bet? I will bet you any amount of money.
The reason The Rock and Steve Austin and those became wrestlers, why? Because they were injured football stars. They would have played football. They didn't fucking want to wrestle, but they couldn't do that anymore. So they went to fake wrestling.
Regardless,
Nonsense story.
That doesn't mean that they can't make more money than an NBA player.
Matt,
No,
Hulk
as a
Hogan's
salary,
what,
Matt, as a salary, not
Hulk
like your
Hogan-
fucking bullshit line of underwears and just paid for by that company. You're making way more. And the average salary of an NBA player versus the average salary of a pro wrestler, not the top of the top, the average, is so different. It couldn't be more different. And we both, you know this, right?
I'm saying
that's right.
You're also giving Vince McMahon too much credit. He doesn't pay the guys well. There's a reason why they were all dying, those behind behind the ring, all those series.
That was only Rodman was crazy. No pro athletes are wrestling.
Yes, they
in their prime. In their prime. No,
I
mean in their prime superstars. Only psychos like Rodman wanted to do it. And here
Karl Malone did it too.
After like all his shit, he was an old man.
He did it later that year.
What do you mean later? What year?
Later,
you mean when he was still 2 years left?
The same year.
Two guys, Matt.
Karl Malone did it. I'm just saying there wasn't a crossover the other way. Wrestling was so popular at the time that you had guys leaving the NBA finals.
It's not true.
Yes, it is.
Dennis Rodman. You're Dennis Rodman, the craziest NBA player that ever existed, leaving the NBA finals. That's a testament to his psychoness.
How much does that happen, though? Right? Does that
never
happen?
In any sport ever, unless it's Dennis Rodman.
Oh wow! So it must have been
unless
that
it's Dennis
wrestling
Rodman
was really fucking popular at the time that he wanted to get some publicity and go over there during the NBA. The NBA finals wasn't enough. Wasn't enough attention
you believe this
for
shit
Dennis
too
Rodman.
Much. You believe this too much. Dennis
I
Rodman was the craziest human that ever lived.
Look,
he was the craziest. I know it happened. I'm just
Steve,
saying
I think
craziest.
you're underestimating wrestling.
No. You don't know. First off, you don't know who Dennis Rodman in like the sports scene at that time. Like, there's no way.
Oh my God.
No.
What do you mean? There's no way I don't know who they are.
Dude, you're too young when this was happening.
I'm not that much younger. Well, I'm not younger than you. I'm not much younger than them.
Damn right.
Mary and Carmen Electra wasn't enough for Rodman. He had to wear a dress to it. He always has to throw.
The guy's chilling with North Korean fucking leaders and shit. He's a fucking nut.
Years later, right?
I know.
Mary and Carmen Electra. That was that. He married Carmen Electra like a year after he went to when he was in LA.
Not NBA final style though. The only reason a guy did that, the guy that made that big splash, is like, again, I'm not arguing people doing the crossover. I'm arguing why it happened. It wasn't a testament to how big wrestling is towards other sports. It was a testament to how crazy Dennis fucking Rodman. That wasn't neat.
I think you're looking at it.
No,
I think you're looking at it the wrong way, because you got to think it might. All right, like we're discussing this as adults right now, but we weren't adults when this was hella fucking popular. Just because it was popular to a different demographic doesn't mean that it wasn't fucking a big deal. It was a big deal.
I'm
just saying. See, I'm dead ass serious.
I'm pretty sure that Dennis Rodman, if we're saying this guy wants attention, right?
Oh, he loved attention.
So why would he leave the NBA finals, which is all eyes on the NBA finals, to go do a wrestling show? Is it because
ready for
this?
this? I hear you. Or was it because, which he's already came out and said, was it because he was snorting huge lines of coke off strippers' assholes while he's in between these things?
So
maybe that was into it.
If he's looking for attention, there's other places he could have gone.
Wait, what do you mean now? A word from our sponsor.
Are you someone who struggles picking a podcast to listen to because your time is extremely valuable?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Are you someone who says, damn, there's not enough hours in the day to pick just one?
Mm-hmm. Wait, what the fuck?
Or are you someone who's interested in a podcast where they interview a wide range of people and find out how the hell they ended up in their profession?
It's like you read my mind. If I say yes to, can you help me out?
Oh, shit! On an unrelated note, while we call the police, if you said yes to all those questions, then look no further and allow me to introduce you to the Working Perspectives Podcast, hosted by executive producer Matt Lavelle and accompanied by co-host Party Boy Pete McCormick. As mentioned, they interview a wide range of people and find out how in the purple nurple fuck they ended up in their professions, which I think, in my opinion, as someone who previously job hopped from one place to another until I found something I'm good at, this is something worth investing your time in. You will learn about jobs that you never knew existed. Feel the grind that some of these people felt before getting to where they are today. And just like me, it'll maybe help you find that motivation you're looking for to pursue and what it is you want to do. And also, they have great segments in the middle of the show, such as The Weekend Pop-In. Give it a shot.
We gotta
And
go
my
to
two
Plan B, man.
favorites,
We gotta
Memory
go to Plan
Lane
B.
and What's Going Down in Gamertown, which
Wait,
is a segment
you're
I'm
what?
part of, so you should definitely
You're out?
look into it.
No,
So,
you can't
that
fucking
being
do
said,
this to me.
after
Why-
this
why are you
video, go
fucking
out and
bailing
listen
out?
to the Working Perspectives podcast. You can find them
Because
on
I
Apple
fucked up?
Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube,
Well, then
Google
what are you gonna do,
Podcasts,
man?
TikTok, Instagram, and
The
Twitter.
bootleg
All links
business?
are in the
The
link
bootleg
tree, which
movies?
is in the
Bro,
description.
There's a fucking
And now,
pandemic happening
back
right
to the
now. Once the
episode.
movie's in theaters, it's gonna go onto the streaming services.
Well, you know what's crazy, Steve, is like I swear to God, like nobody was big in boxing until they fought Oscar. Like Floyd had no numbers
know.
until he beat Oscar. Same thing with
I know.
Pacquiao. Like if you beat Oscar, that was like the kingmaker.
Speaking of real quick, how about that jabroni getting way too blowed up and had to pull out the fight? And now Evander Holyfield replaces him? I was
Dude,
like,
I
holy shit, Vitor Belfort's nuts. Holyfield might fight. I mean, if he connects and he still has any power, you can fucking kill him.
Dude, but I think Holyfield has like I can't believe they're going to sanction this fight. He's like 58 years old, and he's been through like fucking wars with everybody.
Wars! World
Like,
champion, times
Lennox
over.
Lewis, Mike Tyson twice.
Oh.
He's got to have CTA. I can't like.
Oh,
I thought Oscar could actually possibly beat Vitor because when I was looking at their height and their reach, I'm like, you know what, Oscar is not that much shorter,
he
and like
was
I know
so out of
Vitor's
shape.
bigger. Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure. He hasn't fought in
Vitor's
so long. Yeah.
shredded.
Yeah, Vitor's
Yeah.
still he's still on the
Shredded.
tier.
He
He's
on
still
all the
TRT
juice.
tour.
He got them Canelo Mexican tacos. Be honest, Matt. Be fucking honest. Have you ever shed a tear when your favorite wrestler lost? Don't fucking lie.
I haven't shed a tear when anyone's lost, but there was a match a couple of years ago, and it was two brothers going at it. And then they had like
you got emotional.
Well, their dad is dead. So at the
Okay.
end, they had like a reconciliation, and there was like the two brothers are back together to
Was
fight.
this Undertaker and Kane or some shit?
Nope, it was Cody Rhodes and his brother Dustin Rhodes.
I
It
had the
was
same
match of the
reaction when
year.
Steve Urkel and Carl Winslow took out the Bushwhackers. I think it was
Stop
a TJF episode in
Stop
1995.
I mean, I think we all did. I think we
The
all did.
Bushwhackers
Party
were
Boy.
was the greatest tag team guys ever. Hilarious.
I think it was one of those episodes where Steve Urkel used that transformation thing to turn into Steve Urkel.
Stefan
or Stefan
Urkel.
Urkel.
Yeah.
Trying to
What-
pimp on his daughter.
What was your story, Steve?
All right, so ready? You will like this because I'm an asshole, and this is just at least, but I get it, right? So it's okay. I go this Saturday night. I go out to have dinner this Saturday night. There's a certain place called Dante and Luigi's. You ever heard of it, Pete?
Oh, yeah. They're
Dante
going
and
up that
Luigi.
chunk ad, baby.
Well, 10th and Catherine, right off
Okay.
of it. 10th and
Yeah.
Catherine, real close though. And but it's been there for like 100 years. Their food's fucking fantastic. And I was saying before, the restaurant's famous for when Nicky Scarfo, the boss in South Philly, went to jail. They thought his son would take over, and Joey Merlino, who ended up becoming the boss, didn't like that. So on Halloween, they ran in with masks on, Halloween masks, and shot him like fucking 25 times in front of a dining room full of people. But it was like, so not only is it the second oldest eatery in Philly, it's also Italian eatery. It's also a mob hit scene. So I go in there, and it's a very, very nice place. Like the food's fucking fantastic. And it's got people dressed up, South Philly. What are you fucking talking about, right? I go in there like an asshole with my sweatpants and my fucking t-shirt, right? I'm a dickhead. Now the young lady I took is dressed fantastic.
For the
She's beautiful.
nines?
Like, yes.
You're a disgrace.
I'm a fucking asshole. We know
And
this,
you
right?
show up in sweats.
What am
She
I gonna
was
do?
just
They were
like,
nice.
oh my
Hey,
God.
Does it
how do I
matter if
get
they
out
were
of
like
this?
does it matter if they were like really nice, expensive sweats? Does that give me?
Yeah, were they
any,
nice?
Like,
Yeah.
hell
How
yeah,
do
they're
you-
nice.
No,
as
what do you
shit.
think? You're just walking in
John's
Under
like,
Armour? It makes a difference?
Under Armour, cause I'm coming heavier than that. Anyway, so I walk in like an asshole, and they sit us next to two gentlemen on my right, and then one main dining room has like little seats around the outside and then a couple on the inside. There's this giant Italian guy next to me with his fucking shirt open like Scarface and 67
love those
gold rings
guys.
on, bracelets, the whole fucking nine, right? There's 5 bottles of wine on their table, 16 entrees. I mean, and this place is not cheap either. Food, I mean, he's got everything, right? I see him staring at my date, and then he looks over at me and goes, "Hey, buddy." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, here we go." I'm like, yeah, what's up, man?" He's like, "You've been here before?" I said, yeah, a bunch of times. And he's like, "Oh, makes sense. Because, I mean, somebody that comes in with his hat on like that must know somebody in here." I was like, I hear you, sir. Right. And the girl's like, "What that? Why'd you take your hat off?" Like, And then he was joking with us and stuff. But I was because then he was asking like, what do you get for dessert? And like trying to be my friend, just being a nice guy. But in his old man mafia Italian South Philly style mob way, he said, if you don't take that fucking dumb hat off, I'm gonna smack it off your goddamn head.
Yeah, in the
In
South
the most
Philly
subtle,
Italian
nicest way.
pass-
Yeah. I was put my hat down.
Italian South Philly passive aggressive way.
I mean, to wear your fucking hat in here like that, I knew you had to know somebody. I was like, all right, never mind. I get it, buddy. Yeah, I don't know nobody. I don't know.
How did you know the girl?
Three OG Italian restaurants, right? It's Dante and Luigi's, Ralph's, and Saloon. Those are the three.
Yeah, so
Ralph's.
Ralph's is supposed to be the oldest ever since the one in San Fran shut down. It's now the oldest continuously family-run Italian restaurant in America. Is Ralph's on 9th Street. But like Dante and Luigi's was before Ralph's, but it changed hands. Not the same continuous family owned. Yeah, you know what I mean. But both of them have been around since fucking 1899 and shit. It's fucking crazy.
We need to go back to the date. So you invited this young woman out to dinner and then showed up in sweats.
I'm bi. It was a dude.
Regardless, you invited somebody out on a date.
I'm sorry. Cut that. No. Yes.
It was a dude.
He doesn't discriminate.
I wore sweats because it was a dude.
Yeah. It was Dennis Rodman.
No.
Wait, how did the date go?
Oh no, I like. What are you talking about? The date goes fucking fantastic. I'm a wonderful human, and I might dress like an asshole, but I do the fucking right thing. All right.
Do you get the car door?
I'm a consummate gentleman. The car door, I pick her up and fucking slide her in the seat and tuck the seatbelt over. I'm a fucking gentleman. Let me tell you, I'll smooth you away.
What he doesn't tell you is that the door is broken. It doesn't open. That's why he's lifting her up and sliding her through the window.
And that she's also a toddler.
And let me tell you, when I see that the bottle of wine is only $50 at this joint, I'm like, don't get a glass, get the bottle. I don't even.
Well, you know what? That's economical. Like if you're going to one of those restaurants, like how much they charge by the glass, like they're charging up for the bottle, but it's
$16 a glass. I'm like, what the fuck?
How did
is it always a weird thing when the dude comes out? Thank God I did it to her, but like when the guy comes out, and sometimes they'll put the wine to the date and you, and they want me to like taste it. Like, you already opened it. What am I able to say fucking no?
Yeah,
exactly. I'd rather not.
Well,
it's supposed to be if it means it's turned bad if it turns into vinegar, right?
Yeah,
I'm not big enough of an asshole to do that. I'll just drink it. I mean, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, I would think that I'm looking like an idiot, like doesn't know what good wine is. I'm like,
I know. What am I doing?
Delicious.
It's a presentation thing, you know.
Yeah,
it's like you.
I would
open
feel like
it,
an asshole though.
You clean it, then you pour it, and then they're supposed to
smell it or some shit. Yeah, like waft it or some shit.
I'll never forget.
Right, Diane, is it like back in the day, like they actually like served bad wine accidentally because they didn't cork as well?
That's still a thing. Yeah. But the first time that's ever happening, like I'll never forget it. I was in like I think I went to Del Frisco's. It was the first time I went to Del Frisco's. Yeah, and they brought
Frisco's fucks.
I know, I love that place.
Del
and
Frisco's
they brought
great.
out a bottle of wine, and that was the first time that anyone's ever done that.
And it was $270.
Yeah, hell no. You know, I went through that Bible looking at every price. I'm like, I'm finding this cheap bottle.
Del Frisco's hard to find cheap shit. Oh, there's expensive.
There's
the finest bottle of your house wine. Box of wine you have.
So he pours it in the glass and hands it to me, and I just like throw it back like a shot. I was like,
hell yeah,
looking at him.
Hell yeah.
He started laughing. He goes, "Does it taste all right?" I was like, "I was supposed to taste it." He's like, "Yeah, that's
when she takes out her beer helmet and starts pouring the wine inside the cans. Like, all right, here we go.
And I'm all dressed up too. You know what I mean? And I'm just whacking shots of wine. I'm like, "Yeah, we'll go with that. You can leave the bottle. Thanks."
Oh. Nice. What did you end up like? What did you get there? Like, what do they have? Is it
God. So on Sundays, obviously it's South Philly. So they have a Sunday gravy, right? That's like famous there. It's one of their things. It's like, so they obviously real gravy has, it's, you know, the sauce made with meat, but then the meat's taken out of it. So it's just like the broth of the meat. So they do it with pork, sausage and meatballs. And then they cook the fucking thing for like 2 days and then take all the shit out of it and just use that gravy and use other shit to put with it. So like the gravy already tastes like meat without even meat being in it. So this probably sounds terrible to like vegetarians and shit, but whatever. It is. Forget about it.
They're not real humans
insane.
anyway.
Nature's a bitch. Get with it.
Yeah.
So Oh my God. So I got that. And I don't know. They throw like a piece of braised pork, homemade sausage, and some meatballs in there. Oh my God. Now, was I going to shit my pants on the way home because I ate the big fucking bowl? I'm a little guy. I'll eat shit out of some food, though. So was I going to shit my pants on the way home and I had to like, I'm like trying to shake my neck out and shit while I'm driving, stretching.
Yo, is there nothing worse than when you're like when you dating a girl like at the beginning and you have to like fart in the car and you're just like, golly, you know, and you're just like trying to.
You think it's worse when men are trying to hold in a fart? Do you know what it's like as a woman trying to hold in a fart?
I didn't know women do that.
Oh my God, dude!
Chicks are used to that weird stuff. You gotta like have kids and shit.
Harry, I hope you're not using the toilet. It's broken. I'm just shaving.
There was one time I got a hotel room with this one guy. We had just kind of, I wasn't that comfortable in front of him. We were dating, but not that long. So I forget where we went. And I ended up getting up and leaving the hotel room and going down to the lobby to take a shit because I didn't want to.
Hell yeah. I'll be honest. That's a fucking veteran move right there, dude.
Yeah,
that's a fucking veteran move right there.
You're like, hey, I'm just going to go to my car and grab my smokes.
I'm going to grab coffee real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Remember that bathroom we had at the high school where people didn't know what it was because it was like melted into like the fucking wall by the auditorium that everybody would run down to during like when we'd weigh in and shit. So ready for this, Diana? After wrestling weigh-ins, guys obviously haven't been eating at all. So again, their stomachs are tiny now. They gorge themselves, so your stomach's all over the place. So guys take shit and you're nervous as fuck. So people take, the worst place you've ever been on earth is like if you're a mom or anything like that when you get older, a youth tournament. At like a thing, you're like, now I'm a coach. I'm like, I'm just got to take a piss. And I walk into the locker room. You want to fucking die because 78 fucking high school kids just shit in a row. There was a line at the bathrooms. They all have to shit because they didn't eat for a week. And now they stuff their fucking bodies with food after weighing in. That is the worst place on the planet.
I had a buddy of mine who ran track in college, right? And apparently there's a thing with track is that
long distance ones.
Well, he did it all, but like but at a track meet, they're usually outdoors, right? And he said everyone takes a shit before their race. So it's the porter potties is just lines of people and it's everybody waiting to take a shit before their race. Because it's the worst thing ever. And it's just like something like, going into it, everybody does it. You have to do it. Like,
hardcore marathoners will just shit themselves mid-race if they have to.
Yeah. Those videos online are fucking unreal where shit is just shooting out their draws. But they're like, I gotta win. I'm like, what are you winning, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Better be $5 million to shit all over myself.
Yeah.
In front of on the TV cameras.
Yeah. I think it used to be a car if you won like the New York Marathon or something.
Really?
You'd win like a Mercedes.
I might shit on myself for a car if it was me and one dude and like, what am I gonna do? I want the fucking car.
Dude, that was beating the Kenyans
back in the day.
Like, no, you're right. Yeah, no.
Remember when Danny Bonaducci was on 94.1?
Oh yeah, I used to listen to that.
He had that contest. He had that contest in it to win it, where like these people had like whoever could stay in this car the longest would win it. It was some kind of a Mustang. But they stayed in for like a week, and then afterwards, the car was just completely ruined. It's like, well, yeah, you're not detailing bodily. Yeah, exactly. It was just like, I think it was just more like sweat and BO of like, because it was like in the middle of the summer.
Dude, I remember.
So funny.
Remember that in the middle of the mall? They'd have them in the middle of the mall.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Dude, that's brutal.
Wait, can I show you guys what I just got? Because I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right.
New Sawzall.
Live, laugh, limp Bizkit.
Isn't that great? Everyone's got their live, laugh, love signs, and I have live, laugh, limp Bizkit.
Dude, do you still listen to Limp Bizkit?
I fucking love Limp Bizkit. Every time I walk past it, I'm my generation.
Really?
I listen to the old stuff sometimes when I'm working out still. It does get me hyped. Let me show you a current picture of Fred Durst.
This was
I gotta show you my bathroom too. I just finished doing my bathroom. I got something special in there.
The best thing ever was Pete was always the last one to wrestle, right? So when we were allowed to have our own music,
that's fucking mean, Matt. Don't say that. That's fucking mean.
He was always the last one to wrestle.
Hey,
in the dual
they
meet.
switched it up. I know, but they switched it up now
Right.
so that those kids didn't have to be last. And Pete was taken advantage of, and I feel for him.
That
Well,
was
no,
not
I-
what Limp Bizkit looks
but-
like now.
No, I agree.
That
That's
is-
not
that's
what
Fred
Fred
Durst.
Durst looks like.
But Pete,
Yeah, I swear to God.
He
Look it
looks
up
like
yourself.
the
Pete-
dude from Zoolander.
yeah, Pete's music used to be. It was "Last Resort" by Papa Roach. Is what he would
Oh,
come
hell
out
yeah.
to. Yeah, I was just like, that's
You guys
the best.
came out to
I
music.
forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
hell
Yeah.
yeah. Our team was nasty. We got to do all types of fun shit.
Wit came out. Wit came out to "Cool Jerk," which was the best.
But did he come up to that, or did he come up to the hit? Did somebody come up to like "I Am a True American"? The
That was
Hulk Hogan
Tom.
stuff?
That was Tom.
that was Tom.
I think.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Okay, so look, I redid my bathroom. So it's all
Oh,
cute.
wow.
Got a bunch of cute things, right?
Yeah.
And then
Limp
this just
Bizkit.
came in the mail.
What? The?
The fuck am I looking at? I'm
Pete,
blind as
Harry.
shit.
Pete, you just said that.
I just said the line earlier.
Oh yeah.
I'm shaving.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
love it.
So
I love
good.
it. This is what happens when you're an adult with money. These are the things I buy. I'm like, I'm decorating my house with this. I see that and I'm like, that needs
So-
to be hung up in my house.
Yeah, Diana, can we get back to this though? Limp Bizkit. So, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk to us? This is an
Yeah.
intervention. Limp Bizkit's gone. It's over. It's done.
It's
Hey,
no, that'll never be over for me.
Well, what's
Limp
the?
Bizkit and Jock Jams will forever.
I'm not gonna lie. Jock Jams was all right, especially it was
What,
like
1 through 30?
Cotton
I
Eye
feel like
Joe
Limp
was on there.
Bizkit just had like they had like that one year, and then
He had
Linkin
like a
Park
couple
came out and
one-hit
stole all their
wonders. Yeah.
yeah.
You got a problem with the 4 Limp Bizkit songs that are good?
Yeah.
I
They're
don't.
good.
I think I felt bad because Linkin
Um,
Park came out and just like stole
did
all
it
their
all-
fans in like one summer. They were like, yeah, either
Did
they're our
it all
fans now.
for the
And then
Nookie,
Faith.
right?
You love
Faith,
Faith. The
Faith.
Faith cover.
Yeah. So did it all for the Nookie.
What's the one he
Faith.
didn't he? What he did? What was the one he did with
Break
Jay-Z?
stuff. Break
Break
stuff.
Stuff.
My generation. There was more. Hang
I don't
on.
think I remember my generation.
What was the one he did with Jay-Z? Didn't he do that by himself? What fucking song was that?
Fucking
No, that was Linkin Park, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't that the
Linkin
same
Park.
thing?
see
No.
Let me see
you.
if he did
You
it.
give
That's
a
not-
fuck about
wait, that's-
me.
That's not
My
the same.
99
thing.
Problems.
generation.
Uh,
Rolling.
That is, it's Linkin Park. Yeah,
Rollin'.
Linkin Park and Jay-Z.
Rollin'.
Rolling and My
Rollin'.
Way.
Rolling was a big hit.
And so was My Way.
My way or the highway.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. He's got
That
like,
whole, I actually like that whole album. I'm not gonna lie.
That is a good album.
Was that
That's what I'm saying.
chocolate starfish and hot dog flavored water? Is that the name of that album?
Significant
think
other.
so.
Oh,
Yeah, Matt, you were close. You were.
isn't that one of their albums?
I know.
Yeah.
But it's the fucking name was the. Who names their shit that? That is disgusting. Why would you
That
fucking
is-
name your
it's-
album that?
But isn't
Wait,
that-
and if I
that is the
remember,
name
if I
of one of their
remember,
albums.
it is. And
I
I
know.
know,
It is,
I
it
know,
is the
I
name,
know,
yeah.
I know.
The
I know.
CD, it's either Limp Bizkit CD or it was maybe a Bloodhound Gang, but it was a boob. Remember? And then you would put your finger through and it would be a
You know
nipple.
Did you hear the weird
Matt-
shit that? Did you hear the weird shit that the kid on the Nirvana CD
Yeah.
tried to
Oh, I
like
did
sue
hear
them or
about
some
this.
shit? Did you hear that?
Yeah,
That was
he's
fucking
suing them
nuts.
now.
Oh wow.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause he was like
The
a naked
baby?
baby on in
Yeah.
the pool. Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
Well, I like
CD?
how he's acting like it's affecting him now. Like, see, he got in front of some girl. And she's like, "Wait, you're the Nirvana baby?" Like, I remember that more from anywhere.
Seriously.
I'd be like, I sure the fuck am, bit. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Pete, what
That
were
would have
you
been a
gonna
cool
say?
thing to like say in college. Like, hey, yeah, like I was the Nirvana
Naked baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Oh, that's a good topic one day. Like things you used to lie to chicks about.
Dude,
I
well,
had
do
one
you
buddy
know,
that used to.
every time just
Stop
real
it.
quick, every time I see someone young, including I did this to my sister in Carter, so many people walk around in Nirvana shirts. And I just start naming Nirvana songs. I'm like, oh, isn't it such a great song? Oh, no, I never heard it. I'm like, take the fucking shirt off.
Good. Yeah.
Love
sounds
Nirvana.
I remember Pete almost like he started like several riots when when the hipsters started taking flannel and chucks and PBR.
Yeah, I wasn't
hell
happy
yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. Real lumberjacks don't put up with that nonsense.
No,
I
they
was just
didn't.
thinking about that the
Motherfucker,
other
you better
day,
go
like,
cut a tree down.
hipsters and gentrification in general in Philadelphia is kind of ruining my life. Like, especially my dating game. Like I see dudes like head to toe in tats, you know what I mean? I used to like that was always a bad boy thing, especially growing
Yeah.
up. And now
Yeah.
it's like you get close and I'm like, oh, that's a lotus flower.
90% of you.
Dude, one day I was at like I lived in Fishtown for a few years, and like I'm walking out of this one bar, and this guy had a straight up like handlebar twisty mustache,
Oh,
and I I just started laughing at him. I didn't want to. Like, I felt bad about it, but I'm like, you can't walk around with that and expect me to like keep a straight face. Like, what do you?
Right,
dude, going on dates with these guys. So I've got like through the internet and shit like that. I've ended up going on dates with these guys because again, they throw off my bad boy radar. So they look bad, and then I meet up with them, and they're not. They're just transplants. They're yuppies.
He drives a Prius and fucking has
exactly
on the roof of his condo.
So, but we go out on dates in like Fishtown and shit, and it's not like. And like the other half of Fishtown, and now like East and West Kensington and shit, you know what I mean? And like, dude, just walking around with them, I'm like, we're gonna get fucking jumped. Like that's all I keep thinking.
For
like,
sure.
He's wearing flip flops like a noodle.
Yeah, just totally unaware of your surroundings and where we are, and I just can't. I can't handle this.
He's wearing the real flip flops, like the toe fuckers, not like the shower
slides.
shoes.
The thigh,
yeah, not shower
flops.
shoes. Shower shoes a jail reference, but whatever.
I'm okay with flip flops. I don't love them though. That's one of my weird things with guys. You know, I don't like
you have to be ready to fight
cruisers.
Yeah, I'm not wearing flip flops ever.
Jerusalem cruisers crack me up. The ones that are all wrapped up and wrapped around.
What is that?
Stop it. Jesus pieces. To walk on motor joints.
I've never even heard of this. Yeah,
the Jesus pieces.
The Jerusalem cruisers? Is that what you call them? That is the best.
Every time I see someone like on the beach with them, I was like, I fucking hate you. I hate you. You need Adidas. You should be wearing Adidas flip flops. You should not be wearing anything but Adidas flips. It's the only thing
that's what Roxborough in the Northeast. They love the slides. You got
that's the only thing that's acceptable.
Big fan.
I can't wear the slides out.
I still wear the slides with socks though, right? Like I'm not.
Of course you
not
do.
Bare feet.
Of course you both do.
You barefoot them. You barefoot them on the beach if you're going to barefoot
if I'm in like a swimming situation or like you know whatever.
That's when it's acceptable for a man to wear flip flops, but only those.
I only wear flip flop sandals if I'm on the beach walking my dog or at a pool. Like you will not see me at a bar in like anything but like sneakers.
Yeah. No, not anymore.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. Not anymore. Used to. I used to walk around with socks and flips. That was the easiest thing, and especially with sports. That's where it all came from. Was just
I'm a big guy, but
shoes.
I remember one time bouncing at McFadden's, there was a Shaq dude, and the only reason I was able to take him out is because he was wearing flip flops. Because I got him off of his feet, like I bear hugged him, and then he started slipping. I took him out. I was like, "There you go, get out of here." Wear sneakers next time, bitch.
Yeah. I get embarrassed if I have to like run out or something, like to the gas station or whatever the case is, and and I get caught in those flip flops. I hate it. I'm like running, trying to not get caught wearing flips.
Yeah.
Weirdly, but I still wear them around the house.
Ugh. I don't even own it. I own slides, but no flips. Not a fan. So
flip flops. Just to get this correct, flip flops are considered the toe fuckers, right? That's the
those are the thong flip flops.
Yeah, that's the worst invention on it. It's a torture fucking device.
Yeah,
it's not a goddamn accessory.
Also, when they like clap when people walk too, I'm like, fuck off.
I want to kick that. You want to slide up behind him and kick that shit right off the front, like you're doing, like the gymnasium with wrestling and shit.
Yeah. Then the slides are like the shower shoes. And then
hell yeah, say less.
Yeah, and then but then the Jerusalem cruisers,
the ones that wrap around the ankle.
They should call them they should be Jerusalem Jays. They're like the Jordans in Jerusalem. They look over, they're like, damn, cuz, look at them joints.
The Jerusalem Jays.
He got the big buckle.
Those slides never had any grip though. Like in high school, we had these big saddle shoes. So we would leave them in our lockers and then wear the slides when we would go to get to the bus. Like we would come and go from high school in the slide, like our whole school Catholic school uniform, and then Adidas flip flops, right? Mm-hmm. But they had
the most Roxborough thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It was Philly. It was my whole high school. We all did it. We didn't want to walk around in saddle shoes. It sucked.
What did you call them? Saddle shoes?
Saddle shoes. Yeah.
Are they like the high boots?
School. No, the Catholic school, white and black. Like tap dance looking shoes. I don't know how to explain them.
The Shirley Temple shoes.
Yeah. So that was part of our uniform, and we didn't want to wear it. They suck. They're uncomfortable as shit. And we didn't want to wear them. We wouldn't be called.
And you look like the biggest douchebag.
Yeah. So we would just wear the flips, right? But everybody did it, and I swear to God, the janitor must have been doing it on purpose. He would buff the shit out of the food. We were
about to get a demerit for that nonsense.
You can warm during the day. You couldn't forget.
You got a demerit on that nonsense.
Yeah, you got written up if you forgot your shoes and ended up wearing them. God. But everyone was busting their ass constantly. It was just a constant fucking thing in school with those flip flops. It was fucking hilarious.
Oof. Yeesh. So, all right. So we're coming to the top of time. Before we get out of here, Party Boy Pete, is there anything you want to say to your adoring fans?
Not really.
Okay. Love it. Nope. Yep. Strong Stem Steve Cabot. Anything you want to say to the avid listeners of the Strong Stem Steve Cabot?
Try Dante and Luigi's. It's a fantastic restaurant. Take your fucking hat off and show some respect when you go in there. Don't be me, you know?
Maybe don't wear sweatpants.
Depends how hot your date is.
True. Dangerous Diana, any words of wisdom you would like to leave your adoring fans with?
Yeah, don't go on a date with anyone that's going to show up in sweatpants.
All right. Well, yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Shots fired.
We'll do the next recording at Dante and Luigi. Steve can have his sweatpants.
Listen.
Diana has her slides on.
Yeah.
Matt has his
I'm gonna show up in
WWE
a
t-shirt.
prom
We're
dress.
banned for life.
Listen.
I'm going to show
Don't
up in a
make me.
prom dress and Adidas flip flops.
Don't make me Don't make me get on the fucking bender and go on a date with the hottest broad you ever met. And I'll fucking wear
fucking
sweatpants
do it.
and scoop her up and put her in the
Well,
seat.
we still have
I
to
wanna
make your
say,
dating
we need
profile.
to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have to
This
make
needs
your
to
dating
happen.
profile.
But Steve, you know what? I just remembered something just to back you up a little bit. Former guest of the show, Brianna, was saying how one time a guy tried to come into her bar with sneakers and they had a no sneakers rule. And she was like, no, those are Gucci sneakers. He's allowed in.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. There's a $2,000 whatever brand.
Right?
Yeah.
They look weird, but trust me, they're like.
So
supposed
if you
to be
had like
fucking
some
style.
Louis Vuitton sweatpants, I'm sure you could get away with it. Right.
I mean, I wasn't going that far, but they were nice. They were over $100 for sweatpants. It's a fucking robbery.
What the fuck are you paying over $100 for sweatpants? For just buy pants, dude.
We had to wear something in Dante and
You think
Luigi's.
I have like a lot of these pairs of these? No. He got special sweatpants for
Those
fucking
are
Dante and
those
Luigi.
are your date
That's like
sweatpants?
that's called the North Wales slacks where I'm from. That's the North Wales dress slacks. All right, fall in line.
I cannot.
That's the North Wales dress slacks. You heard me? I put a nice white tee on too. That's a
He's
tuxedo
ironing
in North
creases
Wales.
into them
Oh.
and shit.
I tuck my fucking socks into my goddamn bottom of my sweatpants too. Goddamn
That way they don't get
straight.
dirty. Then when he gets to the
Damn
restaurant, then he untucks them.
That's right. Let them just drop like a chick taking her hair out. Just let my fucking sweatpants open up.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Well,
cannot. So
happy for
what
you.
we're gonna do
I know.
is
Thank
we're
you,
gonna
Matt. I appreciate
schedule a
it.
day and grab a couple outfits and we're gonna do a headshot day. We're gonna do pictures for Tinder and then we have to create the video.
You know what I
As
love
well.
is like, there's like some kind of incel, like there might be some incel kid that's like listening to the show and he just like listening to Steve. He's like, this motherfucker wears sweatpants and he's still, and I.
Yeah. And he's like, and I'm
Again,
wearing every fucking piece of.
I'm a living testament. Have a little fucking character. Treat her nice. She don't give a fuck what you're wearing unless she's Diana. But most of them don't give a fuck what you're wearing.
I would be insulted if someone showed up at my doorstep and was like nicely standing outside of the car, holding the car door open for me, but just had to like in sweatpants, a t-shirt. I'd
You
be
say
like,
that, but if the guy that walks out before him had skinny jeans, you'd be like, oh, hopefully the
Very
sweatpants
true.
got on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This guy looks like a fucking
Well, what?
asshole.
Well, no.
It depends how
Diana.
tight the jeans are.
Well,
It depends how
Diana,
tight the jeans are.
you're on record in saying gray sweatpants is
Yeah,
your
I
thing.
Looking
Yeah.
at them. I like looking at them.
You
don't
I
like
don't
going
mean
on
I
a
want
date?
you wearing it on a date.
Okay.
She likes them in
don't want you to
grams
invite
when
me-
she's
I
peeking,
don't want you
when
to
she's bird
invite
watching.
me out
Bird watching.
to a nice dinner that I'm gonna get dressed up to and do all my makeup and shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put all this
What
effort in,
yeah.
open my door, and you be in sweats.
What if they prerequisited it saying like, hey, I know it's our first date. Don't go overboard getting dressed up. I'm going to wear sweats if you want to wear sweats and we're still going to go to a nice place. What about that?
That'd be like a weird, like an orange flag. Like he wears sweats to nice places. You know what I mean?
And,
Like
yeah, like
he's kinda
how many
going out
guys
of
am I
his
going to
way to
meet that
tell
it's their
me,
first time seeing the fireworks?
yeah.
Hell yeah, Pete. Coming in hot and heavy. He comes in. He shows up. The guy's gonna show up in gray sweats on her next date, doing the Weekend at Bernie's walk, like backwards with his fucking pelvis all out.
Yeah.
And what do you think I'm gonna do? Get on my knees and be like, oh, come on. What do you think I'm gonna do?
No,
I don't know. We're gonna find out, right?
we're just saying, like, people are
Find
listening
out.
to this show. They're picking up pieces of information. Like, I know how to
We're
get her now.
confusing the shit out of a lot of people right now, I think is what's happening.
So the
But
moral of the
no.
story is never wear sweatpants on a nice date. I'm an asshole, but I somehow work around it. For you youngsters, you don't do that.
And
Yeah.
also
Yeah,
do not
that-
wear super tight jeans. They can't be super tight.
Yeah, no.
All shorts or
So-
nothing. That's my
Yeah.
motto.
So, all right. So this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast Weekend Poppin'. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Party Boy Pete McCormick, Strong Stem Steve Cabot, and Dangerous Diana Spencer. You can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can have us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, then do us a favor and email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. All right. This is the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Have a good weekend. Thanks. Bye.